In the shadowed corridors of history, where truth frays into whispers, certain deaths linger like unanswered questions. They are not mere endings, but enigmas, their circumstances cloaked in ambiguity, their resolutions lost to time. I, the sleepless scribe, weave together the threads of these mysteries, each a tapestry of doubt and dread. This is history's most mysterious deaths, a journey through 5 lives extinguished under veils of uncertainty, narrated in the hush of a world that cannot forget. The past offers no confessions, only echoes. Let's begin. Cleopatra, the serpent's embrace. The Alexandrian sun burned low, casting long shadows across the marble floors of Cleopatra's palace in 30 BCE. The queen, last of the Ptolemies, stood at the precipice of defeat. Octavian's legions closed in, their boots a drumbeat of inevitability. Egypt's serpent, once a goddess incarnate, was now a fugitive in her own kingdom. The chronicles claim she met her end in a locked chamber, her body found lifeless beside 2 of her maids, a basket of figs nearby. A serpent's bite, they said, delivered her from Rome's chains. But the truth is less certain, a riddle coiled in the sands of time. Cleopatra, at 39, was no stranger to survival. Her reign was a dance of alliances and betrayals, her charm a weapon sharper than any blade. She had seduced Caesar, entwined her fate with Mark Antony, and outmaneuvered rivals with a mind as keen as her ambition. Yet, as Octavian's shadow loomed, her options dwindled. The Roman victor sought to parade her in chains, a trophy of conquest. Did she choose death over humiliation, or was her end scripted by another's hand? The ASP, sacred to Egypt, is the poet's choice, a venomous farewell that crowned her legend. But snakes are fickle, their bites not always fatal, and Cleopatra was no fool to leave her fate to chance. Some whisper of poison, a draught concealed in a hairpin or a vial, administered with the precision of a queen who knew the alchemy of power. Others, darker still, suggest Octavian's agents slipped into her chambers, ensuring her silence before she could sway Rome's heart once more. The sources, Plutarch, Dio Cassius, offer no clarity, their accounts tangled in myth and propaganda. No serpent was found, no wounds confirmed. Her body, preserved for Antony's burial, betrayed no secrets. The queen's death was a performance, staged to defy her enemies, but its script remains unwritten. What drove Cleopatra to her end? Was it pride, refusing to kneel before Rome, or a calculated exit to preserve her myth? Or did Octavian, fearing her charisma, orchestrate a quiet execution? The Nile keeps her secrets, its currents carrying away the truth. Her death, like her life, is a shadow play, brilliant, elusive, and forever out of reach. Alexander the Great, the conqueror's fever. In the sweltering heat of Babylon, June 323 BCE, the world's greatest conqueror lay dying. Alexander, king of Macedon, master of an empire stretching from Greece to India, was 32, his body a map of scars, his spirit unyielding. For 10 days, fever consumed him, a slow fire that no physician could quench. His court watched, breathless, as the man who tamed nations withered. The chronicles speak of wine-soaked banquets, of a sudden illness, of a king who slipped into silence. But how does a god-king die? The answer is a labyrinth, its paths winding through poison, disease, and despair. Alexander's empire was a mosaic of conquest, held together by his will alone. His generals, the Diadochi, circled like wolves, their loyalty as fragile as the peace he forged. He had no heir, no clear successor, only a vision too vast for mortal hands. The night before his fever began, he drank deeply, some say from a cup laced with malice. Aristotle, his former tutor, had ties to the Macedonian court, where resentment festered against Alexander's eastern ambitions. Could a poisoned draught have been slipped into his wine, a betrayal masked as revelry? The sources, Arian Diodorus, mention no proof, only suspicion. Others point to nature's cruelty. Malaria from the Mesopotamian marshes, or typhoid from tainted water. Alexander's body, battered by years of war, was no stranger to strain. Yet his decline was swift, too swift for some. His symptoms, fever, paralysis, silence, a cipher that defies diagnosis. A darker theory lingers, that Alexander, exhausted by endless conquest, chose to fade, his death a surrender to a world he could no longer shape. His last words, if they were spoken, are lost, replaced by legend's refrain. To the strongest, the empire shattered in his wake, his generals carving up his legacy like carrion. Babylon's walls hold no answers, only the echo of a king's final breath. Was it poison, plague, or the weight of divinity that claimed him? The truth lies buried in the sands, a secret as vast as his empire, as fleeting as his life. Amy Robsart, The Fall at Cumnor Place, 1560 CE. In the quiet of Cumnor Place, Oxfordshire, on September 8, 1560, the air was heavy with autumn's first chill. Amy Robsart, wife of Robert Dudley, favorite of Queen Elizabeth I, was found lifeless at the foot of a staircase, her neck broken, her body still. The house was empty, the servants sent to a fair, leaving Amy alone in her final moments. The coroner called it an accident, a tragic misstep, but the whispers of Elizabethan England told a different story, one of love, betrayal, and a queen's unspoken desires. Amy, married to Dudley in 1550, was a shadow in the glare of her husband's ambition. Dudley's closeness to Elizabeth, newly crowned and unmarried, fueled rumors of a royal affair. Amy, frail and often ill, was an inconvenience to a man whose star was rising. Her death, so sudden and solitary, sparked suspicion. A fall down a shallow staircase seemed implausible, her injuries too precise, her isolation too convenient. Was it murder orchestrated by Dudley to clear his path to the Queen's side? Or did Elizabeth herself, wary of scandal but unwilling to lose her favorite, play a role in the shadows? The inquest found no evidence of foul play, yet doubts festered. Some whispered of poison, administered before the fall to ensure her silence. Others suggested Amy, heartbroken by her husband's neglect, took her own life, her fall a final act of despair. The records are sparse, the truth obscured by the politics of a court where loyalty was a mask. Dudley's enemies seized the scandal, but Elizabeth, ever cautious, distanced herself, her heart a locked chamber. Cumnor Place is long gone, its stones scattered, but Amy's death haunts the margins of history. Was she a victim of ambition, a casualty of love, or simply a woman betrayed by chance? The staircase holds no answers, only the echo of a fall that resonates through time. The Princes in the Tower, The Vanished Heirs, 1483 CE. In the summer of 1483, the Tower of London stood as both fortress and prison, its walls a silent witness to treachery. Edward V, aged 12, and his brother Richard, Duke of York, aged 9, were lodged within its stone embrace, heirs to a throne claimed by their uncle, Richard III. They were seen playing in the tower's gardens, their laughter a fleeting defiance of fate. Then they were gone, vanished without trace, their fate a wound in England's heart. The chronicles offer no closure, only a void where two boys once stood. Edward IV's death in April 1483 left his sons vulnerable, their claim to the throne contested by a realm fractured by the Wars of the Roses. Richard III, their uncle, declared them illegitimate, seizing the crown for himself. The boys, confined to the tower, became ghosts before their time. By autumn, they were no longer seen, their absence a spark for rebellion. The Tudors, rising to power, accused Richard of murder, but no bodies were found, no proof uncovered. Bones discovered in 1674, buried beneath a staircase, were claimed as theirs, but science disputes the tale, leaving the mystery intact. Did Richard order their deaths, smothered in their sleep to secure his crown? Or did they survive, spirited away to safety, their identities erased to foil their enemies? Some point to Henry VII, the Tudor victor whose own claim was fragile. Did he ensure the boy's silence to cement his dynasty? Pretenders like Perkin Warbeck, claiming to be Richard, stirred hope and doubt, but their stories dissolved into execution and obscurity. The tower's walls, cold and unyielding, offer no answers. The prince's fate is a shadow cast across history, a question that haunts every chronicle. Were they victims of ambition, pawns in a Game of Thrones, or did they escape to live in silence? The past is a locked door, and the key is lost forever. These deaths, Cleopatra, Alexander, Amy, the princes, are not mere endings but portals to the unknown. Each is a fracture in the tapestry of history, where fact and legend intertwine, defying resolution. I, the sleepless scribe, linger in their shadows, chasing truths that slip through my fingers like sand. The past does not yield its secrets easily. It demands we question, we doubt, we wonder. Who were these figures, and what hands, human, divine, or accidental, guided them to their ends? The answers, if they exist, lie in the silence between the lines, in the spaces where history holds its breath.